So today we're going to talk about intake and output. So when calculating intake and output, you can either add all the ounces and then convert to milliliters, or you convert to milliliters as you go, whichever way you prefer. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So let's begin with a simple problem for intake. Coffee is 1 cup, orange juice 4 ounces, Jello 120 milliliters, and milk is 8 ounces. I prefer to do my calculation as I go. So I would write down as I went: coffee 240 milliliters, orange juice 120 milliliters, Jello 120 milliliters, and milk 240 milliliters. I would then add that up for 720 milliliters. So here, let's start with another simple calculation for an end of shift total. Breakfast was 720, lunch was 240. MedPass, there was 120 milliliters of water, and dinner there was 360, for a total of 1,440 milliliters for the PO intake for the shift. So output is anything that exits the patient's body: urine, stool, emesis, drains, nasogastric, and blood. So let's look at an output. The Foley catheter had 125 milliliters. The patient voided 350 milliliters. There was 75 milliliters from an NG tube, so you had 550 milliliters output total for the shift. So continuous bladder irrigation is a 3-way Foley. A volume of irrigant is infused into the bladder. You subtract that from the volume emptied from the Foley, and that gives you your true urine output. So a client has a 3-way Foley catheter in. They received 6,000 milliliters of Foley irrigant. When you emptied the bag of urine, you had 7,500 milliliters. 7,500 minus 6,000 of irrigant is 1,500 milliliters of true urine output. So now let's practice an intake and output problem together. So we have water, popsicle broth, continuous IV fluids. We also have diarrhea, urine, and a wound drainage. So it's easy if you take each component out and either add all of your ounces and convert to milliliters, or convert as you go. Whichever you prefer to do, that's what you need to do. But just take each component out one by one. Okay, so this is how we're going to divide it out. Your intake, your total is 825 milliliters, and your output total is 540 milliliters. As you see, I have each component listed by itself, so it's easier for me to add up at the very end.